1. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Geek and Tech podcast. This is Ramon, Mejia, and this guy's
Edgardo, Acosta.
And every single week on the podcast, we're bringing around the week's best Geek and Tech news. We discuss that news, of course, anything else we're interested in. This is episode number 123. Welcome.
Yeah. So in Geek News this week, we'll talk about the Mini SNES, the upgraded Zelda DLC, Batman news, a possible Captain America death, movie trailer showdowns, and much, much more.
Absolutely. We're doing the show, though, with Geek News.
Alright, get ready, grown-up men, children, and women. Slated for launch on September 29th this year, the Super NES Classic Edition is a console kit similar to the original console that launched more than 20 years ago. Like the NES Classic Edition that came before it, the new Super NES allows you to play retro Nintendo games in high definition over HDMI with 2 included wired controllers for a $79.99 price tag.
Yep, so it's a very interesting looking product. I mean, I'm not sure if it's going to have the same amount of fervor as you got for the NES Mini Classic, but there's a good, strong bunch of titles coming out with it, including Contra, Donkey Kong, Earthbound, Final Fantasy 3 rather, Kirby 1 and 2 apparently, Superstar and Dream Course. I'm not sure what the difference is, but I do remember Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Also Mega Man X, which is a great game. Finally, the one that he was looking forward to.
Yeah.
Star Fox. Who can forget Star Fox 1 and 2? Yeah. Then of course you got Street Fighter, Castlevania, Ghouls and Ghosts. All upgrades for that system. Super Punch Out. Not Mike Tyson anymore. He's
Mr. Dream.
Yeah, Mr. Dream instead of Mr. Dream in jail. Well, remember that's why they took his face off the product, because he went to jail for like rape or something.
Accused.
Yeah.
Of rape.
Yeah, but he went to jail. Actually went to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Nintendo was like, we'll try to find someone else for this product. And of course Yoshi. So all kinds of actually really interesting games. I actually like this slate of titles for the Super NES more than I do for the NES personally.
Well, yeah. The only thing is, I think there was more. Was it 30? Or 60? I don't remember how many were in the NES Classic.
These are going to be in the NES Classic. I think they were like 30 or something.
30, yeah.
But like you could download more, basically. And these are like 21 that are pre-installed.
I thought it was that whole issue that,
No, you have to get it from Nintendo, but you can download them. I mean, it wasn't like,
okay.
you can hack it.
Yeah,
but like
it's going to be hacked. This one's
Yeah. I mean, there's really no reason to buy this, actually. I mean, you can do like a Raspberry Pi or an Android version of it. Or you could basically do it on your phone. Like, your phone's a better processor than what's going to go on this thing.
People want the nostalgia factor.
But yeah, they're going to like the controllers. They're going to be like Christmas stuff coming up. So it's a big plus for them. Plus, with the Nintendo library coming out, you might see some of these same products on the Nintendo Switch at some point.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to say the pre-orders are probably already sold out. If you gambling to get it at a store, you're gonna have to.
I don't. Yeah.
You're gonna have to be that guy that's gonna be tenting out there the day of before, and hopefully you get one.
I don't doubt that they're gonna get sold out. I just doubt that they're actually going to people who really want them. Like, there are tons of people who remember the NES as their very first console. The Super NES, I don't think is as big of a crowd. I'm gonna say there's not one. It's just there's not as much nostalgia for that system as there is for the NES, which is almost America's first love affair with video games on a mass scale. You had Mario Brothers, you had Duck Hunt, a bunch of other like classic games, including Punch Out. And these are just kind of upgraded versions of what you would have gotten there slightly. So I don't doubt at all that they're going to get sold out, but I feel like they're going to go to scalpers, or people who are planning to resell them at a market price, like 2 or 3 times whatever they paid.
Those people, yeah, you're going to see triple the price on eBay for sure.
There's still NES consoles going out for like $200 or $300, especially because they're not making them anymore.
Oh yeah, that's the other part that I find stuck. Because honestly, you can still go to almost any store. I still see them in Target. The Genesis system's doing well. It's doing okay. There's still plenty on the shelves. They got the
Yes.
two controls already
Which is
added
kind
on
of what
them.
this is that same level of like, oh, I remember this thing.
Mm-hmm.
My phone is better, much less like an actual console. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
paying $80, like that's a legit like game that you could have
Yeah.
for a console you probably already have.
Honestly, for any kind of price like that, and it's a little bit more of a setback too, because to be honest, like you said, your phone literally in your hand
Yeah.
is a better console than what you have.
I guess it's something cool for kids.
Yeah, because with me, I'm a little bit of old school. Like at the time, I still kind of want one, but at the time, I really wanted a arcade cabinet. I
Right.
mean, we're talking the big bulky things that you see out 7-Elevens,
Yeah.
arcade stores, and
Couple
everything.
$100, got to get it
Blah,
shipped to your house. Yeah.
exactly. But now, if you were to get it, now like me being realistic, it's just a big piece of wooden furniture with a TV that I have to stand to enjoy, or else I prop up a chair instead of enjoy my TV and play a legit, in the comfort of a nice couch.
Yeah, I mean, you could get the Switch. The Nintendo Switch has a bunch of those games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, or you can just download them to like again a personal computer or a laptop and have as much fun. I think most of the games you actually play through a browser at this point.
Exactly.
Like the internet can power those old games.
And if anything, I like the little side projects. I don't know if you see YouTube videos or something you see on Facebook, those little tutorials on how to create the Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, and they're fun. And educational, folks. So you see
Seriously,
plenty of things to do.
I wouldn't mind having my kid. I'm like, hey, let's go to Radio Shack or let's order the pieces, put pieces
He
together.
thinks Radio Shack still exists.
Somewhere online.
But I get what you mean. Like you have the digital version. Like, oh, let's order these parts. We'll put it together. Plenty of science project things with electronics and things. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there with that. And just this is one of those cool products that actually means something, and you feel really proud of yourself when you finish it.
With 3D printers, you can make your own.
Or you could spend like $40 and just download the games to your console, as a pack or something.
Yeah.
Or it's just pirated through the internet. Not that we endorse that, but it is available. Okay. Next story though, more video game stuff. We're gonna go Diablo now. Diablo 3 was first released in 2012, and there's still new content coming out for that game. That's how popular it is. This week, the Rise of the Necromancer pack came out, and the DLC adds a whole new class. Guess which one it is? The Necromancer. Yeah, there you go. That players can mess around with and level up. There's no new story content, but there is game content. This class has a whole new set of skills that you can level up to what level 100, 200, whatever it is going to be for you. And it's a spellcasting with Raise the Dead Pets kind of character. So it is a very different kind of gameplay. You're not going to be up front in battle. You're going to be running around, running away, raising the dead, and then jumping back into the battle. But this game has such a huge following, mostly because it's adaptive content. Like every time you play it, it's always meant to be challenging in that the characters, the enemies you fight, rise to your level. Like they change levels every mapping depending on your level. You can also randomize loot drops means that every game is going to feel a bit different. So there you go. It's enjoyable. Yeah.
That's the thing with me in video games. I always love replay value.
Yeah.
Unless you're that guy that wants to get 100% on it, knock out all the achievements, kind of do that kind of deal. DLC is cool, but the only part that sucks is when you buy a game you wish it was already added on.
Yeah. This is not one of those cases, but it is. I understand what you're saying. You feel like the DLC should have been part of the game originally. Like It's some interesting content. Like, oh, that would have been really useful during the actual main story campaign.
Exactly. But if for a person that, the game, in this case, has been around.
Yeah, it's like 5 years old.
And they decide to bring out new stuff.
Yeah.
Time to dust off Diablo 3, man, and start playing again.
Yeah, this will definitely get you at least, 5 or 6 hours of just enjoying, figuring out how to play this character correctly, or figuring out the best way to do it, and it's just seeing all the new content, the new, because literally every time you play the game, there are rare loot drops, and some of those drops can actually change the powers that you have.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah, the only other game series that I know that a lot of people get excited with the new expansion packs come out is World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
That's the only one that I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, those are regular for an MMO, online game only. This is not, there are online content for this, but it's mostly just people playing together. It's one of those few actually co-op couch games that I think really works well.
Yeah. Alright, speaking of more DLC fun stuff, guess who's bringing out some more stuff? Nintendo. For The Legend of Zelda Breath of Wild. Complete with a Master Trails, a Hero's Path feature, 8 new types of armor, Early reviews from players suggest that the difficulty has been turned up to 11 for Master Mode, and it's pulling back in people who already thought their adventure in Hyrule were done. So this is going to give your lovely lady wife hopefully another chance to pick it up and continue
Yeah,
playing.
yeah. She learned about it before she took off for the weekend. She's like, "Wait, I didn't realize this was there." I'm like,
Wait,
"We can
what?
download it real quick, and you can just take the console with you."
That's true.
And she decided not to for some
Oh,
reason.
really?
I'm
I think
like,
she wants to enjoy her lady.
it's a handheld thing. I'm like, I guess she wants to enjoy talking, which is another option on a road trip.
It was a ladies' day out for our significant others. So my lovely lady's turning dirty 30, while everybody else is just along for the ride. So yeah. So but this game, I liked it. I liked it. I just never got a chance to get involved with it. But like I said,
Yeah, it's definitely it's a
finished the
long
game.
experience. Yeah, and there's definitely apparently there's like a new extra hard mode where all the monsters are extra tough, hard to kill, and they regenerate health as you fight them. So you have to defeat them quickly. You can't just like snipe them for like an hour from like far away, which is very much her style of combat.
Yeah, because to me, honestly, DLC content, costumes.
Yeah, no, there's definitely more than just the costume. There are new 8 armor types, but most of it is going to be in the Master Trials, which is a series I think like 24 levels, where like every 12 or something, or maybe it's every 6. I remember. You get to save, but if you die before any of those 12 save points, you have to start completely over from the beginning. So it's an extra hard form of like Zelda torture if you're into that like really hard challenge mode basically. So it's nice. I like it. I think it'll add a little bit of value. Worth the $10 I think it's costing. So there you go.
So real quick, related to all our game awesomeness is happening. I don't know about you, depending on what game system console you guys got rocking, but Xbox, PlayStation, Steam.
Yeah.
Right now, it's
Summer
having a
sales.
great summer sale. So for those that don't really want to venture out in the sun, go out on the beach and stay indoors in your nice AC environment. Get some games, man. Some of them are going anywhere from like 60% off, especially with depending on the console, a lot of backwards compatibility games, old school stuff. Take advantage of it. Honestly, for the guy that like myself. Not that I don't want to pay full price, but
well, no, sometimes you wait intentionally. Like this seems like it might be a good game, but I don't want to spend $80 on a trial run. So instead, maybe you'll wait till like a summer sale, and then you pay $20 or $30 for a trial run, which seems a little more reasonable.
Totally. Because honestly, this is kind of like the halfway point. This is like the 6 months, and I'm sorry to say this, 6 months before the holidays. This is our halfway point. This is the time for us to enjoy the
but all these sales feel very much less gift oriented and more like, oh, this is for me.
Oh, totally.
Because they're all digital, which means you have to download to your own personal computer or console, and they're just for you, and so they're things for you to do during the summer.
Unless somebody has a console, then you buy them a little points card or whatnot.
Oh yeah, well, that's even then it's like no, it's not close enough to Christmas for it to be like a Christmas present. You know what I mean?
True.
So but anyways, but it's still fun. But lots of good things on sale. Go check them out.
Yeah.
Okay. Next story on Nintendo Entertainment: Wonder Woman has surpassed Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, Suicide Squad, and The Man of Steel to become the highest-grossing movie in the DC Extended Universe at the North American box office. So in North America, she's number one.
Suck it, Batfleck.
Yep. All those other Batman films, Suicide Squad, she knocked them all out of the park. So good for you, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, just okay. You said you saw it, yeah? You saw it?
Wonder Woman?
Yeah,
we saw it.
Okay, so I just saw it myself too.
Oh, okay.
Enjoyed it. It was really good. I wasn't sure what the route was going, because I heard all just the rumors and stuff like that.
I thought it was fine. I wasn't like super balls to the walls amazed like it was for Suicide Squad or for Deadpool.
Yeah, exactly. I don't see.
But yeah, definitely better than the other guys.
I didn't see a resurgence of suddenly all these girls now like suddenly.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman's the greatest. Everybody has their little crowns, their little spangled
Well,
panties.
it's also been a few weeks since it came out, so that crowd is probably not there. But every woman in the theater that I went to was like really cheering, and even my wife, who's not a big like superhero fan, was like, "Yeah, I'm rooting for her." And
chicks,
I thought it was great. And that's because they could see themselves in the story finally. And as guys who always see the main character, the hero, being a dude, we always get that. And so for them, it was something special.
So hopefully now the almighty Disney / Marvel.
Oh yeah, but this definitely says this is a thing, and you can make money in this. Duh, guys.
Chicks make money. Chicks make money, especially superheroes.
How weird, guys. How DCU women have money to spend too, and men can be entertained by a female hero.
Other than the known that we know the Captain Marvel that was going to be as good as
Yeah.
Disney slash Marvel. Remember at the time there was the rumors of a Black Widow movie, but of course that got kind of canned. But now maybe they'll probably, you know what? Maybe we should put out
Well,
Black
they're doing.
Widow.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be their test footage for like, oh, can a woman-centric story do this? I think the Black Widow story would be less superhero-centric and more espionage-centric for that character.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I want to see. Let's see. Other than Captain Marvel, I'm trying to think of any lead.
Well, they're also doing Black Canary, and
DC.
yeah. What was it? Oh, no, it's the
The girl that does what?
yeah, it's Black Cat and
There you go.
White Sable, I think it is.
Oh, Silver Sable.
Silver Sable, yeah.
There you go.
So they're doing that version.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, and that's going to be from Sony though.
Yeah, no, well, obviously, Spider-Man's been on a long time. Right now, that I want to see the current trend in the Spider-Man universe is Spider-Gwen. You know, for at least
She is trendy, yes, but she would have to be like alternate universe Spider-Gwen, which requires like a whole like multi-universe backstory, which seems like it might take a little while considering they're just rebooting Spider-Man successfully again.
Exactly.
I mean, they're going to be introducing Venom first, and then the other like side story of Spider-Man, which is the first time they're actually doing it, is going to be the Black Cat Silver Sable kind of mix as well.
Yeah. I'm kind of drawing a blank though. I know there's a whole bunch of like female like.
Yeah, I mean, Dark Phoenix would probably be another one from the MCU.
So it's been like a team. It's always like a girl from that one team. It's like no different than the Invisible Woman movie if they wanted to go that route.
Well, if it's labeled the Invisible Woman movie, it would be about her primarily. It wouldn't be about the team necessarily. I mean, the Dark Phoenix, yes, the X-Men are probably going to be there, but it's also primarily about Jean Grey. And from rumors, it's going to be her with the Hellfire team, and then even possibly going into space. So that's kind of an interesting twist on that character. Finally, kind of seeing some of the stuff we saw in the animated series or from comics, finally coming to life instead of just mad Jean Grey who murders Professor X.
Yeah.
Spoilers, guys. Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay, on to some more entertainment news.
DC stuff. Zack Snyder released a new official image of Ben Affleck's Batman in Justice League this week. So you check out the costume. It's still that big, flat, sort of weird, like open book paged Batman logo on his chest.
Yeah.
He still has the tiny ears, because I don't know. Does Ben Affleck always have like a huge head, and I just never really paid attention to that?
Like a huge fat white head. Yeah, he's in the costume there. You can see his face.
Big head, no neck, almost.
Well, I think that's part of the costume in the cowl. Like, oh, maybe they're taking away the neck again. Or maybe they're trying to go for the like the older Batman look.
Oh, what do you call it? Dark Knight one?
Yeah, the Dark Knight one.
Lightning.
Yeah, where he's like a much bigger dude.
Bulkier.
Yeah, that might be the one he's going for.
Yeah, he still has that kind of like sculpted, kind of like scraped clayed kind of costume pattern kind of thing going on.
It's okay. Yeah, it's not like a huge thing. It's like we've seen the costume before. But thanks, Zack Snyder, for a nice holiday surprise.
Yeah, it's not the Batman and Robin where they didn't add nipples.
I would love to see Robin. And like he surprises us with a Robin costume. Like, oh, that would be a nice surprise.
The costume exists in the movie, the Batman vs.
You mean
Superman, but
Dead Robin?
The guy in the costume is a whole different thing.
Yeah, you mean the Robin they murdered off because he was stupid.
You think they do a flashback or something like that? Like the way somewhat they did in Suicide Squad with like Batman. Like Batman didn't really have to be in the movie, but they did put him in it.
Well, they did it as a lead into like, oh, this is here. Look, here's a hero hero a bunch you might not know. Exactly. That's why they had him there. I mean, also introduced him as, oh, this is the Joker who's the foil for the Bat.
I'm still nothing's blown them away. I wonder if they're gonna redesign because they do like with almost every Batman movie another version of the Batmobile.
They are. I mean, every single movie I would expect that. They've already shown some of it. I think in some photos, and it looks between like a traditional Batman vehicle and like something more militarized, like the all-terrain thing. Yeah. They're still trying to mix it up.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll.
I mean, they have to sell toys, so they have to come out
course.
with a new thing every time.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't know. I don't know when they're gonna bring back the semi-cartoony, like bat-winged shaped Batmobile.
When they feel like they can make money off it. That's all it's going to come down to.
That's true.
Now, speaking of more Batman, this is actually referring to not the Justice League, but the standalone Batman film that's coming out. Fresh off critical acclaim for his stunning War of the Planets of the Apes, director Matt Reeves is on set to bring a visionary take on the next franchise, The Batman, which is the name of the next movie. Contrary to the grim action-driven versions of Batman we've seen, Reeves says he wants to bring out the noir side of the world's greatest detective. Speaking to New Trailer Buzz, the director stated, "There is a chance to do an almost noir-driven detective version of the Batman that is point-of-view driven in a very, very powerful way. That will hopefully connect you to what's going on inside of his head and inside of his heart." So it almost feels like he plans on doing a Batman video game kind of style of movie where it's about the detective story, but it's also about the narrative of what's happening in Bruce's head and outside of, as Bruce Wayne.
Don't they kind of have that already?
No, I mean
the one Batman Tales, like those Telltale
oh yeah,
games?
Tales of the Batman, yeah. That kind of story, but also the Batman Arkham City stuff is also action oriented, but also detective driven as well. So that style I could definitely see it being popular on the screen, which is what we talked about before. Like, we would like to see a detective Batman instead of just Batman beats everyone up and shoots them with guns at some point.
Yeah. Totally. That's honestly that's what I thought the Telltales was.
No, it is. It is
this is just another.
No, this is the movie.
Oh, a movie.
This is the movie. I'm like,
okay.
why aren't you getting this?
No. The part because it was me is I was like, depending on the storyline, in my mind, if they were gonna go that route,
yeah, that seems like the plan.
For the movie, I think I personally, and it still has some kind of action. If they haven't done it in theatrical version, but the whole Ra's al Ghul thing. About finding out about him, more about the Lazarus Pit and all that stuff.
We saw Woody into the Lazarus Pit. We saw Ra's al Ghul in like the very first Batman with what's his face. Remember, he was the hero, he was the villain in the very first new Batman movie. Him and the Scarecrow.
The game or the movie?
No, the movie.
Ra's was it? Oh yes. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, totally draw a blank.
It was Liam Neeson was Ra's al Ghul.
That's true.
And so he just beat him from like down the street with his penis. And he just like whipped it out. That wasn't a train he left him on. It was yeah. Yeah, sorry. That goes.
Well, no. I'm glad you reminded me. Maybe it's just been that long.
Yeah, but so yeah, this is you've heard of like the new Batman film coming out, right? The one after Justice League. It's a standalone Batman film directed by this Reeves director. After Batfleck, Dick, skipped out on the directing role.
Yeah.
And apparently this is the way he's going. So I think it's cool.
Yeah, I'm totally would check it out. It might be a little something that some people are not used to, but I would definitely check it out.
I think it'll work.
All right. Well, let's go from the world of DC to Marvel. Kevin Feige, how do you pronounce it?
Feige.
Okay, let's go with that. Hints at the first Avengers Infinity War trailer could play in front of Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, that would definitely boost up the sales tickets.
Okay, Ragnarok.
The Ragnarok on its own always looks cool, but
So,
add in like the first Avengers Infinity War trailer, I'm like, okay, yeah, that'll do it. That'll knock off some sales.
Yeah, because right now, honestly, there's no DC competition right now. Because that's the thing that Marvel usually does. Like, oh, really, DC? You're gonna put out?
Oh,
something?
you mean nobody can compete with Marvel at this point? You mean
exactly?
Yeah.
We're gonna put out something to up you, DC.
Yeah, Justice League is not cutting it for as far as like either competing with the Infinity Wars, even Thor Ragnarok at this point.
Yeah.
The Justice League film is not as cool, even though there's going to be the like the big scene with I mean, it's not Doomsday, it's I forget his name now. Darkseid.
Okay.
Yeah, there's going to be a Darkseid. It's basically like the first episode of the Justice League New 52, where Darkseid just bam right there. They have to fight him, beat the bad guy. I feel like that's what's going to happen in the Justice League movie. But even with that, I think the Thor Ragnarok has more style. At this point. Plus, you get to see your favorite heroes battle each other, which is always a big sales boost for either comics or movies.
Oh, yeah, I don't know how iconic, how awesome it's going to be, but everybody's going to want to definitely see Thor and Hulk throw down, how that's going to go. And
I mean, plus imagine the other ones that are going to be like any other superheroes you can think of. They might throw in some other guys, like Battle Ray Bill, I think, is hinted at being there as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Maybe not Namor, but the only reason I say that is because at the Disney, the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, the hint of having
he exists there somewhere. So I feel like he's going to be something maybe in the Avengers Infinity War he has stake in the Earth surviving, so why not?
Exactly.
But I'm not sure if is he owned with the Fantastic Four license?
It.
I don't remember
No, I
because or
don't.
is he considered a mutant, which is somebody else entirely?
No,
I
because
mean,
he's technically an Asgardian, or at least a version, because he does eventually obtain the powers of a. I want to say a Thor, because he has a hammer. But we'll see. I'm not.
see, there you go, folks. All
Somebody
kinds
will
of
correct my geekiness
there's
on
so
that.
much comic history, folks. It could be either or, and all of them at the same time.
Yeah.
That's how that goes. Okay, next story. The Scorpion, spoilers, has been confirmed to appear in Spider-Man: Homecoming. There you go, folks. I mean, as the Scorpion, not just as the character who's going to become the Scorpion, but the actual Scorpion, just like they've already shown you shots of Shocker with his, gauntlets and his powers. I'm assuming there's going to be some version of that, maybe towards the middle or end of the film when everybody has their alien-based technology suits.
Yeah. Or if anything,
Yeah.
if it's anything like what they call the Andrew Garfield one, where they do that walk by, you see the vulture's wings in the background. Maybe you see the scorpion tail.
No, because I forgot he's on the crew, the Scorpion. So just like Wrecking Ball and Shocker, they all work for the Vulture, and that's where they're getting their gear from. You know what I mean? Because the Vulture has the construction crew that picks up all this old alien tech and all these weapons, and he kind of repurposes them, or
Adapts
breaks them
it to
down and builds other things with them.
Okay, that makes
So-
sense. Yeah, I always like the Scorpion. It's always not really been the most popular of characters.
Well, I think it was always like a no-brainer. Like, oh, what's the opponent of a spider? A Scorpion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Other than the tail going on, that was it.
He's definitely a fun animated character though.
Yeah,
Like
you
he
know,
was
the
just,
cartoons-
yeah,
cartoon
he
shows
was
kind of
he was
been
always
joke.
like this idiot, but is also sort of like not the worst person in the world. He's just a criminal who got a suit and he made the most of it. And he was a very C-rated character, but he was also likable for some reason.
I like.
Yeah, me too.
Plus, I have a thing for Scorpion.
So there you go, folks.
All right.
Okay, next story.
More Marvelness. Michael B. Jordan's Eric Killmonger, a Wakandian exile, being escorted into Black Panther's throne room under the watch of T'Challa's trusted advisor Wakabi, played by Daniel Kaluuya. Now there's two former Johnny Storms in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, I just thought that was funny. Like, oh yeah, when I saw the picture, I was like, wait, he was also Johnny Storm. So we have Captain America and Eric Killmonger, who were both former Johnny Storms from Fox. And I thought, hey, great. Now this really is like a multiverse kind of universe.
Yeah, well, the same thing. Like, remember the two friends in the Scott Pilgrims are both Quicksilvers.
Yeah. See, there you go, folks. Plenty of multiverse crossover stuff. You just got to connect all the dots, and you should have a wall for pins and string.
Exactly.
And there you go. I just thought it was fun. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still wondering if people I apologize, it sounds racist. In an African American community, are they gonna rock that hairstyle because of this picture? I don't.
They might. It might be trendy.
Like
It's not bad looking.
It's like emo dreads to me.
Emo. Nah, not a bad description. Emo dreads.
Yeah, but anyways.
Yeah, but I looked it up. It's an interesting character, and he's not as nearly as brutish as I thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
As a character, he went to college, got a PhD, so he's a scientist and an excellent fighter. So that's an interesting twist. There you go. Okay, next story though. Apparently, Samuel L. Jackson is co-starring as Nick Fury in Captain Marvel, so they couldn't give a woman her own film. He's expected to start filming scenes in January in Atlanta, Georgia.
So who'd they get? Because that looks like that
What?
Sookie chick. Or is
Sa-
it somebody else?
You already know who they got for Captain Marvel, don't you?
I don't remember her name.
I don't remember her name. It's Brie Larson, I think it is.
Oh, okay. I'm wondering.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That is not Sookie Stackhouse.
Yeah. She just has that face. I'm like,
No, it's Brie
minus
Larson.
the gappy tooth, but anyways.
But Brie Larson has imported as. I mean, we've already seen her in the trailer for like Captain Marvel. Like, there's a scene where she's like putting on the costume, like the gloves,
Might have been one of
and then she's in a plane, and then you like see her jump out of the plane and fly away in the costume.
Then I need to watch it because that might have been one of my off days. Where
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, go look on the internet. I mean, literally right now if you want to, Captain Marvel, clip, and you'll actually see her in full costume. That was part of the announcement, I think, at a Comic-Con of who they actually got for it. But it exists on the internet.
I will look it up, but let me just continue though with this more Marvelness. Okay, let me get on the story real fast. We already know that Chris Evans' contract with Marvel is ending in 2019. What? However, a recent statement to the Telegraph, the actor stating that he signed on to one move beyond the Infinity Wars because it made sense. It's going to wrap everything up, which means Captain America may die in Avengers 4 movie and may not be in the Infinity Wars. So, like, what?
Yeah, so he won't die because Marvel's Avengers 4 comes after Infinity Wars, and people thought because the contract ended with the Infinity Wars that was a great place for him to be murdered and be killed. But according to the actor, he signed up for one more film, which is going to be Avengers 4, and if that's going to wrap up his storyline, that kind of like seems to me like it should end the way that Civil War should have ended, with his death being like the catalyst for like change in the universe. Like, oh, so I mean, like it did in the comics. But who do you think is going to take over for Captain America?
Well, remember, if they're going to go the route of the comic books, it's going to be Falcon.
It could be the Falcon. It could also be the Punisher, or it could be Buckeye.
Punisher.
Yeah, the Punisher took over like as soon as Captain America died in Civil War. Then it was the Punisher that actually took up the shield and the costume for that little time frame. And he didn't do well, obviously, because he's not really the all-American hero. He's more than happy to murder people's.
Exactly.
But it was supposed to be like a new character arc from like, oh, he's trying to change to fit this new persona because it means something to the world. So that's what that was. But yeah, Buckeye could do it, or the Falcon.
Because remember, we talked about this a while back. Like, honestly, Mr. Robert Downey Jr. was not going to be able to play with, like, Iron Man forever, nor any of the characters, because...
They all have contracts, and they all like money.
Not just that, but some of them can't physically do it
anymore. I don't think anybody's that old.
Mm-hmm. Like, no, they're not ancient. They're not like... Here's
like, at some point, maybe, but...
Walker kind of deal. But it's eventually gonna happen, and heaven forbid...
No, it's already sort of happened with Logan.
Yeah, anything happened between either contract disputes, wanting money, death,
yeah.
Things like that happen. So it's just a matter of figuring out how to make it happen.
Right.
So, okay, who would you? Let's see. Let me throw an example. If let's see.
And just for the folks at home, we see what Edgar's trying to watch.
Bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, he's actually watching the bit of the trailer from. Where it shows the reveal that Brie Larson is Captain Marvel. I think it was Comic-Con this past year. Not this summer, but like the summer before, 2016, where they did this like huge big reveal.
So speaking of, especially with Comic-Con happening this current year, 2017, who knows what trailers are going to be coming out.
Yeah.
And I think they kind of learned. I know there's eventually going to be people going to be sneaking in their phones and whatnot to take footage like what we see right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's expected.
But also, hopefully they learned for all those past years that let's just put it out.
Yeah.
Let's just put it out.
That's what they did with Deadpool. Like, it got snuck out. And they're like, hey, you know what? We're just going to do it because people are already sneaking on the next room. Might as well make it a publicity thing. And, that was, I mean, to me, that's a much better way to do it. Because, if you're just depending on people to not show the stuff that they're super excited about, why not instead just revel in it and take advantage of it as much as you can? Make everybody feel special. Okay, and that's it for the show, folks. That was our last story. We have movie trailer showdown, and that's it. But that's it for the news section. We have, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 6. 6 trailers this week for the movie trailer showdown. There were 6 pretty cool trailers that we liked, but only one can win this week. We're going to begin with The Inhumans. This trailer showed that it was in September, going to be in theaters. They're actually doing that theater thing, where they're going to show the first episode for about a month on September the 1st, and then it'll hit TV screens on, what was it, the 29th, I believe.
Do you think you're going to get charged regular movie ticket to watch a TV show in
yes,
the theater?
They will charge you as much as they can. I mean, even though it's promotional, it's like the theater still wants to make money. And I would hope that I think they're going to do like the first 2 episodes, like where it's back to back, so it's supposed to be like a 2-hour show. So, time-wise, it makes sense. But yeah, it's a pretty cool trailer. I liked it. What did you think of it?
Remember I had a question about Crystal's hair?
Yeah.
that ring that got on it? Like, so it's part of her hair. It's just like the dye design or whatnot on it.
And it looks less fake in this trailer. Like, you could see the strands. You can see it's actually, looks brittle. But I thought this was cool in that he almost speaks at the very end.
Yeah, and they do show
Lockjaw.
Lockjaw.
They do show Lockjaw at the very
the
end, which is
teleporting dog.
definitely cool.
He's all CG'd obviously because of his massive size and all, but
And the fact that he teleports.
and they're gonna make him lovable because if you're not a dog person,
No, I mean you saw him here for a second, and like here he comes up.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Just looking at him, he looks so adorable and plushy, and it's just great for toys.
I'm totally waiting for him to be on his back, waiting for his belly to be rubbed.
Yep, absolutely.
But it looks kind of funky. It looks like somehow he's brought to like Black Ball's brought to Earth, and somehow he gets blended in because you see him in like civilian attire
at some point. Yeah, and then he accidentally like breathes too hard, and everybody like dies around him.
Exactly. But for the next trailer is Jumanji.
Jumanji.
Honestly, I saw like. I guess they're going the video game route.
Yes,
they got sucked into the video game, not necessarily like Tron,
which makes more sense for a modern audience.
Exactly, instead of the board game. But the part that kind of tripped me out, even that still shot, I saw the giant cat statue, and I'm like, is Jumanji like in Wakanda or right next to it?
Yep.
Like, and the part that this version is, it's pretty much high school kids that become the playable characters. So you got this the jock becoming another version of a jock, becoming the rock jock. Then one of the girls actually becomes.
I don't think the jock becomes the rock. I think it's the skinny guy. It's
oh, that's right. That's right.
Part of the movie is about them being different people and having an opportunity to experience the other people's point of view on the world.
Yeah.
You know, the weak becoming strong, the strong becoming having to use their brains instead of their beauty or their power.
So the white kid, the geeky guy, becomes the rock.
The rock, yeah.
I know one of the girls becomes Jack Black.
Yes, the pretty blonde girl.
Yeah, and
she becomes
one of them becomes Kevin Hart, and
the big muscly butt guy becomes Kevin Hart. And the pretty girl, she's not ugly. I mean, she's just less pretty than the pretty girl.
The friend. Usually it's the friend.
She becomes the smart girl.
The smart hot girl that
becomes Karen Gillian.
Drift kind of deal. Yeah, so. It's an interesting take. Honestly, people are gonna watch it because people love The Rock, people love Jack Black, people love Kevin Hart. You know, they're gonna go check it out. But
and it looks like they also have like little power, so it's very interesting. I like it.
So especially being a video game thing, I wonder if they're gonna have like cheat codes and such involved in it to try to get through certain stages.
Well, they would have to be told the cheat codes unless it was like pre-programmed in like the Contra code or something.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's inappropriate.
Anyway,
it's already rest.
Next one is Bad Moms, a Christmas Red Band trailer, which I just saw and I actually enjoyed it. Like I said before, it is July. It is officially the halfway point before the holidays.
Yep.
So depending where you're at, where you're from, start your Christmas shopping now. Honestly, and I started. I bought my wife I'm debating on either having it as a Christmas or a anniversary gift because that's the bad part about that part of the year. A lot of people's things around that time, birthdays, anniversaries, blah blah blah. This, and of course the almighty Christmas.
Yes, Christmas almighty.
Yeah. So once again, it's good. It's a little kind of escape of mom's version of what Christmas is today.
No, because this is a sequel to the movie. There was Bad Moms, and now it's Bad Moms Christmas,
exactly.
Which makes sense. It's a very stressful time for people who are into that kind of thing. Yeah. Me, I'm just like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
This isn't my holiday. This is something you like.
Everybody
sure, we'll do it.
Thing, yeah. Watching Leap, who
it was
makes
cute.
this? Because it looks like DreamWorks.
I don't know. I'm not sure if it is DreamWorks or not. We can go to the end. It's basically about dancing and ballet.
Yeah.
Leap.
Honestly,
a lot of people.
Very few names I recognize on there, but it looks very almost like what's it?
No, it looks like it's the Weinstein Company.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. That's why it's not quite DreamWorksy, but
it reminds me at least the art style, not Polar Express, more like something like you would see.
It feels
DreamWorks
more towards Polar Express than like Disney.
Yeah,
I see what you mean. Yeah,
but it's okay, nothing dramatic, but I would watch it out. Now, Death Note, on the other hand, for the anime fans, it builds a lot of suspense on it. They do hide the what would you call the bad guy, the actual Death Note clown-ish.
Oh, you mean the Shinigami?
There you go.
Yeah, the Grim Reaper. They show him the silhouette. They don't do any close-ups, but you do hear William Dafoe's voice very clearly, and it's like, oh yeah, that's the voice.
Totally
awesome.
It off.
Good casting call, guys.
Totally pull it off. The book itself looks awesome, so I'm thinking that's going to be a big seller at probably Hot Topic or whatnot, or people doing their own versions of it.
Yep.
So get ready to see a bunch of replicas of that. But yeah, it looks good coming out to Netflix. Gonna definitely check it out. For anybody that's an anime fan that knows anything about what Death Note is, this is Netflix version. There is an existing live action version with the Asian people. I don't know if you've seen it.
Is there? I don't recall there being one.
Oh yeah, it's on DVD. It's on.
We can check it out, but I prefer the animated version.
Oh, of course.
It's a story about there are death gods in the world, Grim Reapers, and if one of them loses their notebooks on the human plane, that human can then write whoever's name they want to die on the notebook, and they'll be dead within the next 10 minutes or something. But it'll look like an accident. Yeah. But he can also specify how he wants them to die. And then they'll die by that specification. And this becomes a big cat and mouse game between, this mass murderer, basically, who's a kid, and a kid detective or a teen detective. Mm-hmm. And it's like, who's going to catch you first? And I mean, there's specific rules, like the person using the death note has to be able to picture their victim's picture in their mind, their face, when he writes it. Otherwise, you just murder all the, John Smiths at the same time.
Exactly.
And so because the detective hides his face, Light, the murderer, can't kill him with the death note because he doesn't know what he looks like. So it's a lot of suspense as far as the anime version goes. This version, we'll have to wait and see because it is set in America. It's not set in Japan, and so this is going to be a very different story. Yeah. Well, there should be differences, I should say, at least culturally. Yeah. And then last but not least, we have, of course, Rick and Morty Season 3, which and this is just a trailer for Season 3, which is coming out, I think it's the end of the month.
Probably on
end of July. Yeah, end of July.
And it's done well. I give credit to Ramon. He turned me to Rick and Morty before it became a thing. Then, of course, Season 2, everybody was all about Rick and Morty.
I mean, you can watch Season 1 and 2 on the Hulu, I think.
Yeah,
and it's still good for even just rewatches. It's
still funny. The jokes are there. Everybody loves all versions of Rick.
Yeah, it's smart and weird and twisted, and it's like it's like the guys from Back to the Future went crazy and just started going through the multiverse and the time streams and not really caring about continuity. It's
fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun. There's no genre or anything like that. They're not trying to go for whatever thing. It's just a fun cartoon. If you don't have a sense of humor, then I'm sorry, you're not going to enjoy this at all.
Yeah, and they totally pull from a lot of different pop culture references. Like right now on the screen, it's Mad Max. Mm-hmm. And somewhere else it'll be some superhero thing or from so they poke fun at a lot of genres because within the context of the story there's a multiverse out there in the universe, and so everything actually exists somewhere.
Exactly.
But it's also still very grown up-y. There's I guess there's curse words, but it's also weird curse words like family. Curse words.
Yeah, made up curse words.
But there's also some weird family themes like abandonment and murder. Don't expect this to be super kid friendly.
Exactly.
But it's very entertaining for grown-ups. So there you go. So of the trailers that you've seen, which one is one that you went for, man?
I'm gonna go with Rick and Morty.
Yeah, me too. That was an easy one. I mean, the other ones aren't bad. Jumanji was cool. Imhins was cool. Death Note was definitely cool. But they all pale in comparison to just the wacky craziness of Rick and Morty. So there you go, folks.
Rick and Morty for sure. It's fun.
Rick and Morty for the win.
Yeah, all these other movies.
We don't have graphics for that, but yeah.
Honestly, Bad Moms, I feel like it's also coming out right now.
Yeah.
Because in time, it'll be out on DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, downloadable.
It is curious. Are they showing it during Christmas? I can't recall. I don't remember seeing a release date for them. Because if they're doing the trailer now, 6 months in advance, I feel like this is going to be an October, November movie then.
Probably.
Because isn't Star Wars episode
that's in December.
Coming out in December?
Star Wars December.
I think that's part of the reason they didn't do well with the first one is great because they went up against a movie like that, and people changed their whole schedules depending on when Star Wars comes out.
Exactly.
So there you go. Okay, well that's it, folks. That is actually the end of the show.
Yay.
The end. Thank you very much for listening to the podcast and listening to us talk and geek out about the stuff that we enjoy every week, and just hanging out with us as we hang out with each other one day a week, basically. That's for the podcast.
Work. That's how it is about being a grown-up. Adulting sucks.
Yep.
But we gotta
Some of us work daily now.
Yeah. So
other of us are retired.
Retired?
Well, that's what I like to call it. Yeah.
You're nowhere at the age of retirement.
Oh no, I mean that's my joke, but it's I stay at home all day and I write instead of going to a job somewhere and getting paid and I make more. So I'm like, that feels like a pretty good retirement package to me.
So take advantage of it.
It'll probably only last a year, but it's hopefully going to be a nice year.
Get book 3 coming out, man.
Oh no, I mean I'm writing. We have 1 and 2 and 3, and I have another series in mind. But it's like, oh, but even if it didn't last, like if it's only for the rest of the year, I'm like,
do a children's book.
Yeah, that could be possible. I'm like, okay, I'm okay with that. I had a really good year. I planned it to be fun.
Yeah.
So that's it. But that's it for the podcast, folks. Thanks for listening and watching. If you want to help support the podcast, you can do so at
geekbytespodcast.com/support.
There you go. That's it for Geek Bytes Podcast. I am Ramon Mejia.
I'm Edgardo Acosta.
Later, folks. Remember, geek out about something.